U.S. President Joe Biden and Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida shake hands as they attend a bilateral meeting at Akasaka Palace in Tokyo, Japan, May 23. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida review an honor guard during the welcome ceremony for President Biden, at the Akasaka Palace State Guesthouse in Tokyo, Japan, May 23. Eugene Hoshiko Pool. President Joe Biden holds an ice cream, as he greets U.S. troops, during his visit to the Air Operations Center at Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden attends an Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity (IPEF) launch event at Izumi Garden Gallery in Tokyo, Japan, May 23. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden stands with South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Samsung Electronics Vice Chairman Lee Jae-young during a tour of a semiconductor factory at the Samsung Electronics Pyeongtaek campus in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 20. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden exchanges toasts during a state dinner with South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol at the National Museum of Korea in Seoul, South Korea, May 21. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden visits the Air Operations Center with U.S. Army General Paul Kamara, commander of U.S. Forces Korea at Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol are greeted by a guard of honor as they gather at a state dinner at the National Museum of Korea in Seoul, South Korea, May 21. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden arrives aboard of the Marine One helicopter at a landing zone in Tokyo, Japan, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden burns incense during a wreath-laying ceremony at the Seoul National Cemetery to honor the sacrifice of Koreans who died to protect their country, including the soldiers who lost their lives in the Korean War, in Seoul, South Korea, May 21. Chung, Sung-Jun/Pool. An anti-war activist holds a cutout of U.S. President Joe Biden during a protest calling for peace on the Korean peninsula during his visit to South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea, May 20. Reuters. Kim Hongji. Protesters raised their fists as they shout slogans during a rally against the talks between the U.S. President Joe Biden and his counterpart Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue (Quad) summit among the U.S., Japan, Australia and India leaders ahead of Biden's arrival in Tokyo, Japan, May 22. Reuters. Issei Kato. A member of the security forces salutes as U.S. President Joe Biden is welcomed for a bilateral meeting with South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol at the People's House in Seoul, South Korea, May 21. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. U.S. President Joe Biden speaks during a meeting with South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, not pictured at the presidential office in Seoul, South Korea, May 21. Yoon, Yeon-J/Pool. President Joe Biden waves as he leaves the Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden greets the U.S. troops and their families during his visit to the Air Operations Center at Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden greets the U.S. troops' families during his visit to the Air Operations Center at Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. President Joe Biden takes a picture with the U.S. troops' children during his visit to the Air Operations Center at Osan Air Base in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst, an anti-war activist, takes part in a candlelight vigil calling for peace on the Korean peninsula during President Joe Biden's visit to South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea, May 20. Reuters. Kim Hong-ji, President Joe Biden and Hyundai Motor Group Chairman Oh Yoon-chung leave after addressing the press on the automaker's decision to build a new electric vehicle and battery manufacturing facility in Savannah, Georgia, as Biden ends his visit to Seoul, South Korea, May 22. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst,